All right, boys and girls, I have a book here. It's called Beep, Beep, Go to Sleep. It's written by Todd Tarpley and illustrated by John Ronco. Do you know what illustrated means?
No.
What does illustrated mean? We don't know. We know what written is. That's the person that wrote the story. Illustrated is the person that did all the drawings inside of it. So if any of the books that you guys read, it'll say illustrated by, and that's the person who did the drawings, which helped make the story come to life for you and everybody else. So beep, beep, go to sleep. 3 little robots, time for bed. Time to dim your infrared. You're getting ready to go to sleep. You look tired. Brush your rotors round and round. Clean your shields. Oh, that guy was stuck. Clean your shields and power down. Quiet at last, not a peep. 3 little robots are beep, beep. You see, you guessed sleep, but it was beep, beep. Is something wrong? I need my coil. My sensor aches. I want more oil. Who does that when they go to bed? They ask for water. Yeah, see? Exactly. Everybody asks for something because they don't want to go to sleep. These robots are doing the same thing. Better now than rest your head. 3 little robots back to bed. Quiet at last, not a peep. 3 little robots are, Edward? Beep, beep. What is it now? I need a light. My fan belt's loose. My bolt's too tight. Sound like little kids. Quiet at last, not a peep. 3 little robots are
Asleep.
beep, beep.
Oh,
Uh-oh. Robots, are you still awake? Engines off, for goodness sake. No more beeping, no more talking, no more squeaking, no more squawking. No more blipping, blinking, boinking, winking, whirring, squinking, oinking. Oinking? Go to sleep. Quiet at last, not a peep. 3 little robots are, Edward?
Beep, beep.
Are beep, beep. Uh-oh, what now? You need what? Oh, a bedtime story. Somewhere there are robots beeping, buzzing, bouncing, squawking, squeaking, blipping, bopping, blinking, boinking, winking, whirring, even oinking. But not these robots snuggled deep. They finally put their boy to sleep. Look what happened. They put the boy to sleep and the robots are still awake. The end. Thank you for allowing me to come into your classroom today. Thank you.
Hello, I'm Martin Amador. My week 2 fieldwork assignment, read aloud. I read Beep Beep Go to Sleep by Todd Tarpley. I am currently teaching a pre-K SDC class, but I went into one of my colleagues' classrooms, a 2nd grade class, and she loaned me this book. It was one that she was getting ready to present, but she let me go ahead and read it there. So I read it to a 2nd grade class instead of my SDC pre-K. I read this book. She had a few there that I went through, and it just sounded like a good book. I really liked it, and I made it accessible by allowing the kids to look through it after I did the reading. I didn't include that in my reading video, but I read the book. I made sure I turned the pages around so that they all could see, and then I left it there with her for the rest of the day so the kids could have some time to go through the copy and see things that were in here, including the illustrator and the illustrations that went with the book. I'm just looking down the questions. I engage the different learners by making eye contact with them, and I asked them a few times, showing them the pictures, and then I asked them a couple of questions while we were going through there. I think what I did afterwards, which would be for number 6, I did not stop to ask them questions on the video, but I did talk to them afterwards, and I asked them, what did the robots sound like? Do they know anybody that acts like the robots when it's time to go to sleep? And a lot of them raised their hands and said, that's me. I ask for water. I ask for milk. I need a pillow. I need the window closed. I need the light on. I need all the things that kids ask to prolong their day, to not stay awake. So I had them all do all of that, and a lot of them had the same questions. They could relate to the book and relate to the characters in here and the robots. And I might give them a little introduction beforehand and ask them, how are you before you go to sleep at night? Do you go straight to bed? Are you ever antsy? Give them leading, little questions to let them know how they might relate to the robots that are in the book. I would probably, I would give them those questions there before, and then I might stop on the way through there and ask them, who does that robot sound like? Does this robot sound like anybody you might know? Maybe a little sister, older brother, something like that. It was a little better with the second grade class than I read it to my SDC class also, but they're all pre-K, so it was maybe a little bit high for them, so it didn't translate as well. I did record that one also, but it was just better with the second general ed class with the second graders to use that. In the future, I might give a little more emphasis on the beep beeps when they came up, and maybe get a little better with the reading of it, and more of a memorizing, so I can show the pictures as I'm reading it, as opposed to reading from the page and then showing the pictures. I like to be able to, I'd use my hands a lot in class, I'm sorry. So to do that and wave it out there for them. I did not have a preset group of questions, but I might have a set of questions like I said. The children did not interrupt me. They were a very well-behaved class. Mrs. Prisky, the teacher that I read in her classroom, she runs a tight ship, so they were all pretty much in there. And I lost my citrus. That would be what I would want to do to improve my reading for next time, is maybe be a lot more familiar with the book. I've read it a few times, but to be a little more, make better sounds and make better things to draw the kids in, and to be able to stop and show them that. I did not have any English language learners. There was no ELD in the class that I read it in. My kids with special needs that I have in the SDC class, this was well above where they are. They're ages 3, 4, and 5. They're pre-K, so it's a little different there. My strengths and challenges would be maybe making more reading sounds for the kids, but that's about that there. What did I learn as a teacher? That I am a clown and I like to read books and I like to be on stage. But so I think that makes the front of the classroom that much of a better space for me. It was fun. We went through things. I liked the book. I like reading to the kids. I liked interacting with the kids, and that's something that just comes naturally for me. Thank you, and we'll see you next week.